to write scripts. Before writing a script, we have to learn how to create a script in Unity. So first create a folder. Here I have already created a folder. Create a folder and name it scripts. And you can create a script by two ways. Like if you want, like for example, if I want to add a cube, I'll create a cube first. Change color of this cube to our code. So I'll be writing color cube. Then add a new empty and write color changer or color manager. You can simply, and if you want to add a script to this, what you have to do is you can add color changer and create a new script from here, or you can simply create a script from here and make sure it's mono behavior script, and you have to name it properly. So it's better to do through inspector and write color manager. Make sure you do not change the name after you have created that script, as it may occur some issues. So it's better to create from inspector and avoid changing names. Now it's being created and you can simply drag here. Same way, you can go here and click. Then you will see the structure of this is our script. Here you can see using Unity engine. So it's just using Unity engine and you don't have to worry about these things, but we'll be seeing what this void start and void update does. And we can see our name of script is here. So it's basically structure of script. So what does void start do is that it's basically start code while we press that play button in Unity. So when we press that play button, it will work. The code here start for once, and in void update, once you run that particular play button, it will continuously run after 30 seconds, around 30 seconds. So it will change, or if anything you want to make change, you have to write here and it will get changed. So we'll be writing simple code for it. And if you want to know more about mono behavior, it allows us to use these features like start and update, which is inside Unity engine. All the important things that you require to write a code or start to write a code is you need to know difference between public and private, and you need other information like integer, float, and character. I believe you must know that, or you already know that, as that is very simple. So if I write public integer speed goes to 1 and save it, and if you go to this color manager, then you will able to change this speed here by giving any number. So basically the work or the public allow you to change your this input value in inspector. You can take it, you can look it like that as well. So basically the use of public is to allow you to change this input value here in inspector in Unity. And if you go here and change this to private and save it, Now if you go here, no, you can see the speed that we were changing previously. So basically private do not allow you to change any values, and you have to write it like hard code in code itself, and you cannot change it from anywhere unless you change it in your code. So that is the use of public and private. Other basic thing we will cover it during our course, so we don't need to worry about those things. And basic other things are like, if there is integer, you can write of this as float, and you can write 1.5 or as input, and character string. So there are lots of there, so you can also check it. So what we have misconception is that while we are writing a code, we should know everything about code and this is value and function, but it's not that way. You need to basically know what you want to do. Like, I want to change color, so I should know that there should be some function that may help me, or if I don't know, it doesn't matter. You can simply search in Unity Learn or any other Google or YouTube. You can learn from that also. So basically coding is simple if you learn that way. So as we are going to change the color, so we need a renderer. So if you write here, you can see generally functionality for all renders. So what it does is it helps us to change the color, and you can name it as any after that. So basically I'm going to use this renderer function, and I have to assign a name. Like if I give color cube and save it, you can see I want to change color of color cube. So I'm going to add it here. So that is the advantage of public, as I can choose any cubes from here as well. So whose I can change the color, but for now I am changing this one. And let's go to script again, and we'll add a starter color, as we are going to change it in a start. So that color equals to color, but now you can see here is red sign. So definitely I have missed something. So what it is that I haven't called the function. Like, it's available in Unity engine, but I haven't called. So if you go here and call that function caller, and look here, now I can call that green color as my starter, and now I have to just write the code here. What I want to do is change the color of cube, which is in this color cube section. So color cube and dot, and what I want to change is change the material of that color. You can see, and I have to equal it to green. So I simply have to add this start color. So you can see that hint. You can simply press tab if you see what you want to do. If I save it and I go to Unity, you can see that our start color is green. And if I press play button, currently it is facing via camera, so we have to look it from here, and you can see that our cube have changed color to green. So it's basically when you write in that start, it will change color when you press this play button, or when you start your code or execute your program. You can say anything. So now we'll try to write it in update and look what it does. Now we'll write code for our update. So we basically will make our cube change colors in certain duration of time, and before that I will go and change some codes. So what I'm doing here is this is array, and it allows to store multiple data. Like if I do like this and start adding comma and add color. So let's it comment here. So basically it does that. It array allows me to add number of colors here. So number of input I can give in a one line, and I will add this here color input equals to 0. I forget to write integer. So what it does is we are assigning that first we are in green color. So it's for basic your understanding only. You don't need to write this code, but you need to understand how this update and start works. And public simply write float and start time. What it does is I want to make this cube change its color at every 2 seconds. So I'm going to write this and make it. It's basically good practice to start with this. So what I want to do is I want to just assign this timer equals to time the delta time. So what it does is it calculates the previous frame rate of my that particular frame rate, and it applies here like it's like a stopwatch of Unity or anything like delta time. And if I do this one, I have to do this, and it is similar to this timer equals to timer plus time dot delta time. So it's similar to this, but it's easy to write in this way. So I'm writing, and it helps to make your code shorter. So I want to change color if my this timer is greater than this start timer. So what I can do is I can simply write code if timer greater than start time. Then I have to write code inside this if, and if you write any code inside here, it will run if this condition is true. I want to complete this fast as this is not what we want to learn, but I will explain it. So what I have done is here is that if timer is greater than our start timer, that I have done is that initial color input, and we are writing a kind of formula here like our 0 plus 1 and color length, and it will give reminder like it will run a code or color, and it will give this value to one. And so individually this code or color will run, and it will reset our timer again to it. So it's like running a caller in loop. So this is what we want to do in our void update. Save it. Then if I press play button, you can see this, it is changing that color that we have provided. So it's basically running in time, and when timer of one color is ending, and it is taking all values from that array and changing. So that is the advantage of update. So it not only assign a value in starting, but it continuously run that particular code, and we can see the changes here. So that's our update. Now we'll change that color using button here in Unity, and later we'll do it through virtual reality headset or by our controller input. So what? Let's add a, go to here, right click, and you can simply add a button here. Or you can, what you can do is go to this UI and simply add button text mesh pro. It may ask that you need to install text mesh pro, so basically install that. You don't need to worry about that. But one thing we need to worry is to go to this canvas. In virtual reality, we cannot see this overlay, but we need to have that particular UI or button in world space. To change that to world space, so after changing it, to change the size, you can simply change it from here. Position. Can reduce height and width as well. Right. And yes, work for both. And for button also, we have to change the size of button. Still bigger, so you can scale it from here. You can change the size of font and other from scale it, and change, go to the inside button and go to text mesh pro and change font size to, change this to change font. Yeah, I have placed or rotate it in direction of cube. You can rotate it from here, and you can scale it as well from, and just it so that we can easily. And now we'll come to scripting. As we have done everything in that update one, so we don't need to do that much here, but we'll be not using start time and timer. So comment it or remove it. We will assign it as function. So what we will do is, wait, we will write public void, make it to change color. And what it does is, now we can call this function while we use our button and it will work from there. So I have changed it to this. So when you are in Unity inside button, what we want to do is on click. So inside inspector you can find a section called on click, and when we press on click we want to assign some function. So we have to add it here in color cube. Inside there's a color manager which we want to add. Simply drag that color manager to object, and function is we want to work inside color manager, and we know we our function there, so it's change color. So the main reason I wrote inside a function in that particular, not inside object, as it helps me to identify that I want to do this. And let's test. What I've done is I have dragged this XR origin or camera so we can better view. And if I press play button, and I'm now able to click this button, and after I press it, it will change the color of cube. It's basically same, but we have created a function, and to that I'm able to change the color of this cube when I press this button. So that's all for basic of our scripting, and now we'll control this button through our Oculus controller. To control that from Oculus controller, actually we don't need code, and we can simply run that previous script in our Oculus. So for that, we need to add something like we know we need to have a box collider and add a collider to that button. Then add XR simple interactable, which we have already added. So what it does is it helps us to interact, and now we have to do is simply like clicking on that particular collider like previously we have done for button. Now we have to go in select section and selected entered add, and we can see it's similar to that button, and we need to drag that our color manager here, and we need to apply color manager function, and we know that our function is change color that we have named. Then go it, and we'll check it in virtual reality. Let's check it in our VR headset. Press grab button, changing color. You can see that it's not different. So we can see it's not different in headset and normal our programming. It can run, but you need to know how to place that or how you need to run that. So By this way, we can write a script for our AI headset. Just starting basic. Now we'll be doing our main code, our main project. This all was for basic. So we'll be doing much more. Our duo